Hello to all students at MBA Foundation 501 course. This is a visual instruction for the Learning Portfolio project. It's a mini presentation, individual assignment. You can do it based on the instructions of the instructor. You can do it alone, solo, or only with only one partner. So a group of two or solo one could be delivered to the instructor. But before choosing your partner, please contact your instructor. You need to have the instructor's consent if you want to go. If you want to do it with a partner, sometimes it has to be done alone. Sometimes the instructor is flexible with that. So it's better that you have a double check with the instructor. Now I'm going to show you the instruction. You have it. You have probably seen that before, but I'm going to annotate a little bit on some concepts. Then I will show you samples of high quality presentation and low quality presentation. When I say presentation, I mean slides. I should let you know that high quality slide, probably they have achieved 80 above, and low quality below 75. So let's have a look at the instruction. This assignment or this presentation, students, they will be given a company by the instructor. Probably it's going to be a Canadian brand, or it could be an international, multinational, or holding. And students are required to evaluate and analyze the performance and efficiency of that company. So they need to use their theoretical knowledge of the business that they have obtained throughout the 501 course in order to evaluate the business efficiency. So students can choose any 3 departments from 5 in a company. So it could the departments are marketing, finance, HR, compliance, and operation. So out of these departments, students can choose any 3, and they can conduct their analysis, evaluation, and the research. If they are doing with a partner, after getting the instructor's consent, so again the requirement is the same, choosing any 3 out of 5. So in this all these instructions, what is important is the quality of the presentation rather than the quantity of the slide. I highly encourage students to have the MBA level of research about the companies, trying to dig more and more to understand the operation, to apply the knowledge that they get in this course on these businesses. So after instructors assign the company, when you start working on your delivery, number 1, this is a formal presentation, so it's not a sales pitch. Students, they should be in formal attire. The concept is not to sell something, is to deliver present information about, or present research that you have done about that particular company. Paper submission is not mandatory, it's only formal presentation. The time limit is less than 15 minutes. Now, depending on the situation, as I said, sometimes the situation says solo, sometimes situation says with a partner. Also regarding the delivery mode, it could be virtual, it could be recorded videos, or it could be on campus. So please check out with your instructor whether you have to record yourself and upload the video, or you need to have it virtual, or you need to come to the campus and deliver that. That's totally dependent on the situation. So the instructors will notify you about the delivery mode. Slides should cover the main points about the company assigned and not any theories or definition. We're not looking for theories or definition. Theories or definition, you've already studied that through your MBA foundation course. We are here to find the facts, the logic, the important info about the company. You can use any platform. So PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint is one platform for presentation. Prezi, Canvas, any platform as long as it's in proper APA. So for more information about the proper APA PowerPoint, you can refer to UCW library. I've put the link for you. Also, that's an example of an APA PowerPoint or professional PowerPoint. Remember, if there is any photo, if there is any design that is part of the template or part of the theme of the PowerPoint, you do not need to put APA caption. The only time that I request students to put APA caption is that the picture is taken from outside sources. It's not your own camera and you took the picture from other references, so you definitely have to put down the APA caption. As you can see that there is a difference in a little bit in the APA PowerPoint. It's not italicized, it is normal. When you're using a visual aid, definitely you need to have your APA caption at the bottom of the figure. And different types of references that you're having, web page, slides, tables, and so on. So this is a quick overview about the link. You might have seen it before, but it was good that I go through it again. So when you are submitting your slides, make sure you convert them to PDF and submit a PDF file, not a PowerPoint file. As I said, the presentation video files must be submitted to the Microsoft Teams folder. So one more time, I leave that to the instructor. So when an instructor is asking for the video files, if it is a video file, you have to submit it to the Microsoft Teams folder. So you click on your channel. Let's say you are in this section. You will go to Files. The instructor will open a new folder on the top named as Learning Portfolio Presentations, similar to these folders. And then you have to upload your videos to the same folder. Students are required to find the important metrics. I will show you what criteria you need to look for each department. As I said, from 5 you need to choose 3. You must have at least one recommendation for each department to enhance efficiency. So this looks like a consulting paper, or I would say a consulting presentation to a manager. And since it's a consulting PowerPoint, it must have at least one recommendation. Each recommendation must be followed by one advantage and one disadvantage. So one recommendation with one advantage and one disadvantage. Minutes of meeting are not required for this project. If students they want to use Wikipedia, Technopedia, any other websites ending in pedia or Investopedia, there will be a 50% deduction of the overall grade in the assignment, because these websites are not reliable source for academic usage or for business references. It's just they show an overview about the content. Tables, numbers, statistics, visual aids are highly recommended. I highly encourage students to show me their talent, their skills in design and graphics. The following checklist, these are the content that are some of them are mandatory, some of them as options for student to choose. But the first content, number 1 is your cover slide. So you need to have your cover slide. You need to include the agenda, what agenda are there, and then following the agenda, you start talking about the topic. So after the agenda, when you want to start a discussion, you must have you must include these info. It's totally dependent on the student. What I'm looking for assessing is, did you answer these questions? The way you want to answer, the way you want to design, the way you want to show the info, that's totally up to the students. I'm not gonna, I don't want to be so detail oriented, but what I'm looking for is, did you answer my questions here? Did I find my answers? That's very important. Next point is option 1, marketing. If students, they want to choose marketing, these are the required content in marketing. They must find these content. If students want, and definitely at the end of the marketing, one recommendation and one disadvantages, plus one advantage and one disadvantage. Boom. If you want to go with the financial analysis, these are the required content. You should not copy paste the income statement and balance sheet or cash flow statement. I only want these key points. So you can create your own table, and in your own table you can refer to these key points. So one more time, not copy pasting the income statement and balance sheet or cash flow statement, only these key points in the financial analysis. That could be option 2, at least one recommendation for this department. For each recommendation, one advantage and one disadvantage. Option 3 could be operation. Again, sometimes the criteria might be different. If it's a manufacturing business, some elements could be available. If it's a service business, so probably some elements might not be available, such as inventory management. That's why with the operation, whichever field that you can, is applicable for the type of business, manufacturing or service. But this is the checklist criteria for the operation. And one recommendation following one advantage and one disadvantage. So far, if you go with 3 choices, we will have 3 recommendations, and each of them with one advantage and each of them with one disadvantage. So it will be 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages. Human resource 4. So one more time, this is the criteria for the HR department, plus the recommendations, advantages and disadvantages. The compliance department, as it was mentioned, these are the criteria with one recommendation, advantages and disadvantages. So overall, these are the 5 options for the student to choose from. And the last content is the conclusion, which is mandatory. So conclusion and the first overview of the company, these 2 are mandatory to be in the slide. The other options, it depends on what choice, which field students they want to choose from: finance, operation, marketing, HR, compliance. That's up to the student. Later on, I want to show you that at the end, it has to be, the references must be in the APA format, which you can see, which you can get help from the link I shared with you in the file, the APA PowerPoint. But remember, conclusion and the overview in the beginning are the mandatory part in your slides. Marketing, operation, finance, HR, and compliance are the 5 options. You have to select 3 out of these 5 options. Don't forget the recommendation, advantage and disadvantage, minimum 1. So there are part of each department, not just one for the whole company. No, for each department it is mandatory. I believe that this will help you to find out an overview. What does it mean to have a professional print out of the slides? Completely professional. So it's about Loblaws. Now, the text, the content, quite good, but there's no proper in-text citation. This is not your information. And as you can see, the text is not clear to the manager, to the customer, or to the student. So there has been effort to answer the questions. There is no doubt about it, but there is no proper in-text citation for the PowerPoint slide. You can see that there is no APA caption below the table. There is in-text citation, but it's wrong. The in-text or the APA caption is way at the bottom. It has to be below the table. Not all questions are answered properly. The net income, the table was created by the student. Great job. He tried his best to put the APA caption, but the problem is that it's not properly organized, and the value at the end nobody knows is what's the unit, what's the currency of that value. So students try to not copy paste, which is appreciated, but there are some gaps. As usual, I mean, same as here, it's not copy paste, it is made by the student, but there are certain gaps. Make sure that you follow APA caption correctly. There were some miscalculations, as I try to point out for students in this slide, with not a proper APA caption. You can see the slide is so texty, which is not mandatory. I should let you know that the requirements for this presentation were totally different from what you're having. There are some changes for sure, so that's why the only purpose to show you these slides or in this video is only to help you get an overlook and outlook of what is required. The recommendations for each department, but it is really texty without any proper in-text citation. It's only insertion of some code. So compliance, human resource, I could not find any recommendation in each part at all. So even now you can see in the finance there is a recommendation, advantages, disadvantages. So HR, finance, compliance, somehow the student tried just to answer the questions without proper input on the overall design. So this is an example of a low quality paper. Plus there are no references. So having no reference means that you plagiarized. So that's reason you will get 0 if the slide do not have any reference page. So be careful of this mistake, because you don't want to lose marks for forgetting to put slides. So Sherwin-Williams was the company assigned to the instructor. It's a medium level quality. That's the cover slide. That's the agenda. So a student, they try to they mention the key points, but they try to elaborate on that. They did not copy paste the content. So the design was excellent. As you can see, the APA caption for each picture. The APA in-text citation with the APA caption are quite shown. Now, here's the point that the piece of marketing are so texty. It's not bullet points. So I can understand that students, they try to assemble different parts without having proper organization in the context, the consistency in the design. So the consistency is missing at this point. It is so texty. I don't want just text. The APA caption, again, it's not consistent. As we saw the sample, it was not italicized, but now it's italicized. So the table was created very good, excellent job. Competitors analysis of Sherwin-Williams, you can see so many competitors, but the problem is that it has to be in correct APA caption, plus there should not be text. Text is not unacceptable. It was not professional in a professional PowerPoint presentation, or I would say consulting presentation. Recommendations, that's great, but too texty and there's no design for that. Finance, using visual aids, perfectly done, but I can see that there was a copy paste of the slide, so I don't want you to copy paste the income statement. You can make your own table based on your findings. So just try to check out those requirements that I have mentioned here about a financial analysis. But the captions are professional around the table. Again, captions, now this is an APA caption below the figure. These captions are quite good, explanatory for the manager. Ratio analysis, great job with the ratio analysis. It would be better to mention from where did they get this resource, so it's not their own words, the data is taken from another website. Talking about the ratio analysis, APA caption, their recommendations, and with the APA caption, disadvantages and advantages. So they had a different requirements, as you can see, compared to yours, but you can understand what I mean by professional PowerPoint. So sometimes it is texty, sometimes it is professional with APA caption. That's why I would say medium level slide, where you should not have a text, you're having a text with a consistent recommendation design. So I will scroll down a little bit quickly so that we can watch other high quality papers. As you can see, the APA caption from Statista that was taken. Make sure that your APA references are properly set up and consistent with the design and dimension slide. Alright, so let's start looking at some of the high quality papers. So it's about Electronic Arts EA shops, an overview of Electronic Arts, so professional, to the point, with proper APA index citation or APA caption. That's the APA caption. They did not copy paste the content, but they put the APA caption. Highly appreciated. For each of these accuracy for each accuracy or case of accuracy that students they have for their project, credit will be awarded. So you can notice that there is not a lot of text. Texts are to the point. It's mainly the visual aid, the bullet points. Less is more valuable. And that's the compliance with APA caption and so on. The conclusion and the references. So next group talked about Boston Consulting Group, one of the dream companies for many MBA graduates. After the cover page, the agenda about BCG, make sure the APA in-text citation is observed. Here we don't see that, so that's a mistake. Everything looks great except the APA in-text citation. From where did you get all these notes? So that's why deduction will apply. Almost all questions are answered in beautiful design without referring to the source. So this is not APA caption below. Make sure you check the PowerPoint of UCW library. That's not. So numbers, there must be APA caption or APA in-text citation. This is the APA caption, but as you noticed in the PowerPoint, it's not italicized for PowerPoint. Now we can see an APA caption. So this shows that it wasn't properly synced. It was merged together, but not properly synced. For this design, you don't need APA caption. This is part of the theme and design of the software. What I say APA caption, if you're adding any external visual aid, or this is not an external visual aid, you don't need APA caption. So the referencing, the in-text citation here was not completely observed. And of course, answering the questions is very important. Did you insert the recommendations with the advantages and disadvantages? And at the end, the APA references. The last sample that I'm showing to you is for Bank of Montreal. So after the cover slide, we don't see the agenda compared to the Boston Consulting Group or Electronic Arts, where as you can see, there is no agenda. So agenda is very important after you mention the cover slide, because we want to show, so like Bain and Company had fully observed, but Bank of Montreal no. So make sure you have the agenda after your cover slide, the first slide. If you can mention the person in the financial group, that's okay. Sometimes students, they mention the company total. It's okay, but better to focus on the person in that company. So we need to have APA in-text citation. All these information are not yours. You're taking them from references. So please have the APA in-text citation. This is yours. Yes, suggestions, recommendations. So again, in your recommendations, if there is a point that is not yours, your recommendation is based on another source or references, please observe the APA in-text citation. So I can see that not details are provided, no visual aids, no graphs. Directly we mentioned the recommendation. So make sure that you provide the tables, the graphs for these points. You answer the questions properly, not just bullet points and that's it. We go to the recommendations. So that's why there was a deduction. I could not get the complete answer about the financial analysis. But here, yes, the marketing, they partially answered the questions. So that's why I say they are excellent paper, it doesn't mean 100 out of 100. Above 80, they had deductions. Did they answer, like Boston Consulting Group, did they answer my questions with proper APA in-text citation? So this is very important, answering my questions, the point by point. So once again, when I am assessing your grade, your paper, I will go back and I will put a tick. Did you cover all these key points that I ask you for your presentation? If I don't see that all points are ticked, so deduction will apply. And at the same time, if you answer my questions like Boston Consulting Group, but did you use proper APA in-text citation or not? Because that's also considered plagiarism if you do not put the correct in-text citation. I cannot accept they answered the questions, that's right. They tried to cover, I ticked, but there is no proper APA in-text citation. So that's why I cannot accept the answers, because I don't know from which resource you have taken this. They all need proper APA in-text citation. So I guess that's not proper APA references. Make sure you follow the proper APA references for the PowerPoint. Alright, so I hope I showed you, I hope you got benefit of looking at different samples, look at the errors, look at the gaps. So just to finalize the point, answering the questions is not enough. You need to have balance of so many factors. So going back to our rubrics, whether you're working in teams or personally alone, consistency in the design and theme is important. The way you manage your slide, consistency in the APA of figures, references, text, cover slide, agenda, answering my questions, that's very important with proper APA index citation, synchronization of the team, that's also important, text setup, we don't want to waste the time for technology setup, and of course the way you're going to deliver your presentation is important. So it's a puzzle. Design, beautiful Photoshop design is one part of it, but answering my questions with proper APA index citation is another part of the puzzle. So make sure that it takes time. I understand that you invest enough time and you try to cover all pieces of puzzle. Once again, if you have any questions, if you have any doubt, feel free to reach your instructor. I'm always happy to help you. Good luck.